China's People Liberation Army Navy is already more massive than the Navy of the United States. This has been a fact since 2020, and until now, the muscles and resources poured into China's shipbuilding have no signs of slowing down. Naval power, of course, is an integral aspect of geopolitical control and dominance, and it's a battle that neither the United States or China would want to lose. The reasons could be found on the pages of Alfred Thayer Mahan's book titled The Influence of Sea Power Upon History. If you have time, you should check out this book, as it provides a timeless exposition about the role of sea power when it comes to establishing a nation's dominance in the world. In the vast expanse of the world's oceans, the ultimate measure of a nation's strength and influence lies in its sea power. For centuries, mighty navies have been at the forefront of defending trade routes, ensuring the safe passage of friendly ships while deterring and disrupting those of adversaries. When a nation dominates the waterways, controlling vital shipping lanes, it is said to have command of the seas. This command empowers them to safeguard their own marine pathways while strategically curtailing the enemy's. The weight of sea power is not just felt in open confrontations. It can be silently wielded to exert economic strain on foes. By blockading, a nation can choke off essential imports vital for an enemy's war efforts, stifle their exports, and deter neutral states from aiding the adversary. International laws, though, often dictate the terms of these maritime blockades. Historically, naval prowess extended to land as well. Majestic battleships would unleash firestorms on coastal targets, a spectacle of dominance and destruction. The 20th century, however, saw a shift. The advent of the aircraft carrier brought a paradigm change, turning the seas into runways from which airborne assaults could be launched. But it was the missile-firing nuclear submarine of the 1960s and 70s that truly revolutionized naval warfare. Merging the potency of sea and strategic air power, these underwater leviathans were the era's defining instruments of maritime might. Fast forward to today, and the spotlight returns to the aircraft carrier. These floating fortresses not only offer unmatched flexibility and reach, but they also stand as powerful symbols of a nation's military prestige, casting long shadows far beyond their home waters. For many years, the United States has long been the dominant maritime force. With 7 powerful fleets, the U.S. has been a titan on the waves for years. Numbers from 2019 paint an intriguing picture. Even though China boasts the world's most expansive navy, the U.S. is not left behind. Its battle fleet weighs in at a staggering 4,635,000 tons. To put this in perspective, even when you combine the naval power of America's allies, the U.S. Navy still comes out ahead. The U.S. also has the planet's largest aircraft carrier fleet. 11 of these are nuclear-powered and in active service. 2 more are being built, and plans for another 5 are underway. But the strength doesn't end there. The U.S. Naval Force also possesses 92 cruisers and destroyers, 59 smaller combat and logistical vessels, and a formidable submarine division, 50 attack submarines, 14 ballistic missile subs, and 4 cruise missile subs. In total, that's a surface fleet of roughly 162 vessels, with another 68 lurking below the waves. Turning our gaze to the east, China's maritime rise is evident. Reports from the United States Office of Naval Intelligence reveal that the People's Liberation Army Navy, or PLAN, now has more total battle force ships than the U.S., with a ratio of 360 to 297. Projections indicate that China might widen this gap in the coming decade, possibly fielding 400 vessels by 2025, compared to America's estimated 350. Let's break down China's naval arsenal. The plan boasts 2 aircraft carriers, a cruiser, 32 destroyers, 49 frigates, 37 corvettes, and 86 missile-armed coastal patrol ships. Their underwater strength is notable too. They have 46 diesel-powered attack submarines, 6 nuclear-powered attack subs, and 4 ballistic missile submarines. China's coastal defenses, backed by the China Coast Guard, add another 255 patrol ships. In total, China's naval force includes 121 surface warships, 56 submarines, and an additional 341 coastal patrol ships. Many are worried of China's growing naval strength, but it's something that we need to dissect. While the numbers may seem imposing, a significant portion of China's navy consists of smaller classes like frigates and corvettes, which aren't typically major combat players on the open seas. Additionally, the sheer volume of China's navy owes much to its coastal patrol ships. Although these vessels have their uses, their ability to project power beyond China's immediate shores remains limited. Furthermore, one can't overlook America's significant advantage in aircraft carriers. Regardless of the ongoing debate about carriers' relevance, it's noteworthy that both the US and China continue investing in these massive vessels. China, with its impressive industrial might and strategic civil-military fusion, is swiftly building its aircraft carrier fleet. The Fujian carrier, bearing resemblance to the US Ford class, stands testament to China's ambitions. Given China's vast population, coupled with its industrial prowess, there's little doubt that its carrier production will be on a faster track. Further evidence of this is seen in China's rapid construction of a new, expansive shipyard to bolster its existing naval manufacturing facilities. Although China's current number of carriers doesn't allow for the global influence that the US's 11-strong fleet does, it's essential to view this in a regional context. A few operational carriers in the Pacific could significantly tilt the balance of power. With the ability to launch sustained air campaigns, countries like Taiwan, Japan, Korea, and even Australia could find themselves at the receiving end of a formidable naval threat. Demonstrating their intentions, the People's Liberation Army Navy recently held dual-carrier war drills, shortly after the U.S. Navy had done the same. A clear message of China's intent to showcase its evolving naval prowess. However, while numbers matter, so does capability. A deeper dive reveals some gaps in China's naval strength. The true power of an aircraft carrier lies in its layered defense systems, its ability to simulate a carrier strike group, and crucially, the type and sophistication of aircraft it can deploy. Here, China faces a challenge. At present, the PLA has only 2 prototypes of its J-31 carrier, launched 5 EEF generation stealth fighter. This means that China currently lacks an equivalent to the US's F-35C or F-35B. In the ever-evolving world of modern air defenses, this places China's carrier-based air power projection at a discernible disadvantage. Moreover, one glaring oversight in many naval discussions is the role of U.S. allies. Often sidelined in debates, the collective strength of these allies is rarely acknowledged. Yet, they hold significant maritime assets. It's an irony. While there's a push for allies to bear more defense responsibilities, their contributions in naval strength are seemingly overlooked. For perspective, let's compare allies. China's principal ally, North Korea, has but a few submarines and patrol vessels. In stark contrast, the U.S. boasts military alliances with 6 key Indo-Pacific nations: Australia, Japan, New Zealand, the Philippines, South Korea, and Thailand. Plus, due to concerns about China, countries like India, Indonesia, Singapore, Taiwan, and Vietnam are fostering deeper security ties with the U.S. Japan and South Korea, both under the U.S. security umbrella, are far from defenseless. The Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force, for instance, commands one of the world's most formidable surface fleets, boasting 51 major combat vessels. South Korea's Navy, with 23 major warships, is also eyeing expansion. Yet, despite their substantial naval assets, the significance of these allied fleets is often absent in U.S. national security dialogues. When calculating maritime strength and strategy, perhaps it's time to consider not just individual nations, but the collective might of alliances. Despite these profound arguments that favor U.S. Navy, the United States should never be idle. After all, quantity is still a quality of its own. Sam Tangradi, a seasoned veteran of the U.S. Naval War College and a former Navy captain, believes we should turn to history for answers. Delving deep into 28 naval confrontations, stretching from the Greco-Persian Wars of 500 BC to the Cold War's shadow battles, Tangradi discovered a compelling pattern. In only 3 rare instances did superior technology triumph over sheer numbers. His findings echo through history. In almost every naval war, victories were secured either by greater numbers or superior strategy. In some cases, both played a part. One can't help but remember the Napoleonic Wars of the early 19th century. While the French were at the forefront of naval technology, It was the vast armada of the Royal Navy that kept Napoleon at bay, ensuring he never crossed the English Channel. Fast forward to today. With China's rapid naval expansion, there's an emerging concern. Can the United States match China's pace? The prevailing strategy from the Pentagon emphasizes a new era of warfare where technology, combined with tactics and alliances, holds the key to dominance. But Tangradi cautions against placing all bets on technology alone. Recalling the intense battles of World War II in the Pacific, he reflects on how the Japanese, with their advanced technology, initially held the upper hand. But as the war raged on, it was the industrial prowess and sheer size of the U.S. fleet that turned the tide against the Imperial Japanese Navy. As the future unfolds, U.S. leaders face a crucial dilemma. Should they rely solely on technological prowess, or should they recognize the undeniable value of a numerically dominant fleet? Tangradi's conclusion offers a sobering reminder. While it's not impossible for a technologically superior fleet to defeat a larger force, history shows that, in over a millennium, only 3 such instances can be cited. The lesson is clear. In the unpredictable realm of naval warfare, numbers matter. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please subscribe to Beyond Life. I know doing these stuff is a chore, but with those little clicks, you can help our channel grow and allow us to produce more value-oriented content just like this. That's it for now. Stay safe and see you in the next one.